Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of biology. Today I'm going to revise the chapter Nutrition in Animals. Alright children, the term nutrition, as you know very well, that process in which the living organism take food and utilize the nutrients for their life functions. Alright children. So all animals including humans, they need certain nutrient to stay alive and grow. And these nutrients are obtained from food. Alright. The food we eat, first it has to be broken down into small particles. And these particles then changed into simple soluble forms which the body cells absorb, and then the food provide nutrients. Okay, now after that, as in the process of nutrition, there are different steps involves, or you can say that the different processes involved in the process of nutrition in animals. All right, so I'm going to discuss one by one those processes. Processes involved in nutrition in animals. Alright children, so there are mainly five processes which involved in the process of nutrition, and the first one is ingestion. Children, the ingestion process, it involves the taking in the food through the mouth and eating it. Okay, so this process of taking in food by the mouth and eating it is simply known as ingestion process. Got it? Now the second process is digestion. This digestion is the process in which the breakdown of food into simple soluble forms with the help of digestive juices which are made in the body takes place. So this process is known as digestion. Alright children, the meaning of digestion? Yes, the breakdown of food into simple soluble forms with the help of digestive juices. Okay, now the third process is absorption. Children, in absorption process, the food in the soluble form, they passes into the body fluid such as blood. Okay, so the passing of the food in soluble form into the body fluid such as the blood is simply known as the process of absorption. And after the absorption, the fourth process is assimilation. Alright children, so this assimilation is the process by which the absorbed nutrients are utilized by the body. Got it? And because of that assimilation process, we get the energy, the body growth, and the repair of the damaged part of the body. These all takes place. So simply we can say that the fourth process of nutrition is assimilation, and in this process the absorbed nutrients are utilized by our body for different functions. Alright, now come to the fifth process, and the fifth process is ingestion. Ingestion. This is the process of elimination of undigested solid parts of the food. Okay children, in this process, after the process of digestion, when all nutrients get absorbed and assimilated, So the rest part of the food, which is waste, get removed out from the body in the form of solid. So this removal of the solid waste is termed as digestion. Got it? So these are the 5 steps or 5 processes that involve in the process of nutrition in animals. Got it, children? Now I'm going to first explain you the process of nutrition in some simple organism, and after that I will discuss the process of nutrition in human beings in detail. Alright? So first of all, the nutrition in amoeba. Children, as you know that the amoeba is a unicellular organism. Okay, it's very simple organism. So this amoeba engulfs tiny particles of food by throwing its false feet, which is known as pseudopodia, around the food. And after that, the pseudopodia joins together to form a small cavity which is known as food vacuole. Alright, and this food inside the vacuole digested by the digestive juices, and at last it is absorbed and assimilated there to provide energy and perform other functions. So with the help of the diagram you can understand it well. This is the body of a amoeba, which is unicellular and it does not have any fixed shape. When amoeba absorb any food particle, this is the food particle. So a kind of finger-like projection starts from the surface of body of amoeba. Okay, and this finger-like projection slowly and slowly covers the food particles, and finally the food particle get engulfed by the body of amoeba and forms a food vacuole. Alright, children. So this is the food vacuole which is get engulfed by the amoeba. In the food vacuole, the particle of food along with some water is present. Now the body of amoeba release the digestive juices. The digestive juice digests this food particle which is present here, and after the digestion it get absorbed and utilized by the body of amoeba, and at last this food particle, after the assimilation of the nutrients or absorption of the nutrient, get removed out from the body. Got it, children? So this is the process of nutrition in amoeba. Okay. Now I'm going to take the next example, and the next example is nutrition in hydra. Children, the hydra is also a simple organism, but it is not unicellular. It is multicellular organism. Okay, it has a number of tentacles around its mouth, which are used for ingestion of food, and these tentacles entangles small aquatic animals and kills them with their stinging cells. The stinging cells are a kind of cells which are found on tentacles of hydra, and they help to kill the small animals, and by which the animals get eaten easily by the hydra. Now, the tentacles of the hydra push the food into the mouth, and inside the body cavity, the digestive juices secreted by the surrounding cells which help to digest the food. And this is then absorbed through the cavity walls and assimilated in the cells. So, this one is the complete process of nutrition in hydra, and you can understood it well with the help of this diagram, as this is the body of hydra. These are the tentacles. Alright, when any food particle or a small animal absorbed by the hydra, these tentacles moves towards the food particle, and these tentacles have the special kind of cells which is stinging cells. These stinging cells kills the animals and push them into the mouth. This is the mouth of hydra, and inside the mouth, when the food particle moves, digestive juice digest them and absorb the nutrients and use them for their body functions. Alright children, so this is the process of nutrition in hydra. Okay, now after the process of nutrition in hydra, now the next example is nutrition in frogs. Now children, the frog uses its long sticky tongue to catch the insects. Okay, and the frogs have a well developed digestive system in which food is digested with the help of digestive juices. Whereas amoeba and hydra, they don't have a well developed digestive system. Got it? Only the digestive juices released in their body and they digest the food. But the frog have a well developed digestive system, and because of that they can easily digest the food. Got it? Now the next example is nutrition in paramecium. Paramecium is also a unicellular organism. Alright children, this is the unicellular organism and has stiff hairs like structure which is called cilia all over its body, and these cilia are used for ingestion of food, like tentacles are used in hydra for ingestion of food. So just like that, in paramecium the hairs which is known as cilia are used for ingestion of food. Okay, now the constant movement of the cilia pushes the food particles into the mouth, like a structure which is called the, yes, paramecium. So this paramecium have a mouth like structure in their body, and the cilia first, yes, catch the food and push that food towards the mouth like structure. Got it? Now, the rest of the nutrition process are similar to those in amoeba, and it means that when the food enters in the mouth-like structure of the paramecium, so digestive juices released, and those digestive juices digest the food particle. Got it? So this is the way of nutrition in paramecium. Understood children? Now, come to the next. The mouth parts of certain insects, as the insects have the different parts in the mouth which help in the nutrition process. So we have to study about the different parts of the mouth in insects. Okay. Mouth parts in insects. So we will take some of the example of the insects. Like the first example is spider. Children, you must have seen a spider, is it? A spider weaves a sticky web in which small insects get stuck, and it then injects digestive juices into the body of these insects, and which digest the body parts of the insects. Okay, and the mosquito sucks up the blood of animals with its proboscis. Children, here the proboscis is the name of a mouth part which is found in these insects. And with the help of these proboscis, they suck the, yes, the liquid food, like mosquitoes suck the blood of animals with the help of proboscis. The next insect is housefly. It also lives on liquid food. It uses its saliva to dissolve the food and form a solution. And then it sucks up the solution with the help of its feeding tube easily. Got it? And the butterfly, it also uses its proboscis to suck the nectar of flowers. So in these all insects, they have the special part of the mouth which is known as proboscis, by which they can easily take the liquid food, because these insects cannot take the solid food. They cannot eat the solid food. So that is why they need to suck the liquid food, and they have proboscis, a needle-like structure which can use to suck the liquid food. Alright children, the mouth parts of the insects which play an important role in nutrition. Okay, now as I told you that we will discuss in detail about the human digestive system, that is nutrition in human beings. Alright, so I'm going to start the human digestive system. Alright, the human digestive system is made up from different parts. Means they have the different organs which combine together to form the human digestive system. So these all parts together known as alimentary canal. Alright children, so our body performs the steps of nutrition inside a long tube which is coiled in some places, and this is called the gut or alimentary canal. Okay, and the alimentary canal are made up of certain organs. So the organs of alimentary canals are: first one, mouth; second, food pipe or esophagus; the third organ of alimentary canal is stomach; fourth one is small intestine; and the fifth one is large intestine. The sixth organ is rectum, and the seventh, anus. So these are the 7 different organs which combine together to form the alimentary canal. Okay, in which the digestion of food takes place. Alright children, now so one by one we will discuss the digestion of food. Okay, The organs that secrete digestive juices are also very important because they help in digestion of food. So we must have to know the name of those organs which secrete the digestive juices. And these organs are, the first one is salivary gland. Second organ is liver. The third one is gallbladder. And the fourth organ is pancreas. Okay, children. So these are the four different organs which also play an important role in the process of digestion. Along with these seven organs which combine together and forms the alimentary canal. Alright. The digestive juices which are secreted from these different organs play an important role in the digestion. Okay, the digestive juices which are also secreted by the inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine. So along with these four organs, the stomach and our small intestine, they also release some digestive juices, and these all digestive juices help to convert the complex substances of food into the simpler form, into the simpler substances. Got it, children? So because of this change of complex substance into simple substance, it can easily be absorbed and easily be assimilated in our body. Alright. Now, one by one, we will discuss the process of digestion in these organs. So, come to the first, digestion in the mouth. Children, the food which is ingested or taken in through the mouth, the digestion begins inside our mouth when we chew the food. So the mouth is the first organ or first part of the alimentary canal in which the digestion of food starts after the ingestion of the food. Okay, the water in our mouth is a digestive juice which is called saliva, and it is secreted by the three pairs of salivary gland in our mouth. Alright, children, and the chewing breaks down the food into small particle or small pieces and mixes it with saliva, and this process of mixing the small particles or small pieces of food with saliva is known as mastication. What it is known as, children? It is known as mastication. Got it? Now, the teeth which we have, they also play an important role in the digestion of food. Okay, so as you know that we have two sets of teeth. The first set of teeth is known as milk teeth, and the second set of teeth is known as permanent teeth. Is it, children? The milk teeth which is found in childhood. So a child has only 20 teeth, and these are known as milk teeth. These milk teeth fall off by the age of 10. Is it? And the permanent teeth contains 32 teeth. 16 teeth in lower jaw and 16 teeth in upper jaw. Okay? So it consists of four types of teeth. The first type of permanent teeth is incisors. The incisors present in front, and these are chisel shaped and are used for biting and cutting of food. They are 8 in numbers total, 4 in lower jaw and 4 in upper jaw. Alright, children? Now the second kind of permanent teeth is canines. The canine is next to incisor. These are pointed and are used for piercing and tearing pieces of food, such as meat. Okay, and they are four in numbers, two in lower jaw and two in upper jaw. Alright? The third kind of permanent teeth is premolars. They are next to the canines and they are broad with an almost flat surface. They help to crush and grind the food, and their numbers are 8. So 4 in lower jaw and 4 in upper jaw. The fourth kind of permanent teeth is molars, and they are present at the back of our mouth, and they are also broad and flat and larger than premolars. They also crush and grind the food, and the numbers of molars are 12. So 6 in lower jaw and 6 in upper jaw. Alright children, so these are the different types of teeth which we have in our mouth. Our teeth are covered with a white substance which is called enamel, and this enamel is the hardest substance in our body. It is harder than the bone. Alright children, so must remember that the enamel is the hardest substance in our body. Okay. Now the saliva, which released from salivary gland, it helps to break down the starch of the food into sugar, and it also makes food easier to swallow by making it wet and slippery. Understood children? So digestion starts in our mouth with the help of saliva, and the saliva breaks starch into sugars. Okay, and because of this change of starch into sugar, it can easily swallowed. Alright children? Now the next is the tongue, which is also an important part of our mouth. It pushes the food towards our teeth, and it also helps to mix the food with saliva and then enables us to swallow it. Got it? The tongue also have the taste buds, which are spread across the surface of tongue, and each taste bud can detect all the taste like sweet, salty, sour and bitter. Got it children? So we can know about the taste of the food with the help of our taste buds which are present on the surface of, yes, our tongue. Alright? So this is about the digestion of food in mouth. Now after that, the food moves through the esophagus and goes to the next part of the alimentary canal, that is stomach. Alright, now the digestion start here in the stomach. Children, the stomach is an important part of our alimentary canal where most of the digestion take place. So come to the digestion of food in, yes, stomach. Alright children? After the food is swallowed, it slides down the pharynx into the esophagus, which is also known as food pipe. The esophagus leads from our mouth to the stomach, and it is made up of the muscles. These muscles gently push food down to our stomach in a web-like action, and this web-like action is known as peristalsis. This peristalsis movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal to push the food downward. Alright children, so you must have to know the name of the movement, that is peristalsis movement. After that, the food reaches to our stomach, which is J-shaped, alphabet J-shaped, and a bag-like structure which is made up of muscles. This stomach can hold up 2 liters of food at a time. Okay, the food stays in the stomach from a few minutes to a few hours, that depending on the types of the food eaten. Alright children, now the inner lining of the stomach, they secretes the 3 different liquids. The first one mucus, second one hydrochloric acid, and the third one digestive juices. And these all 3 play an important role in digestion of food. The mucus it protects the inner lining of our stomach. Okay, and the next one is, yes, that hydrochloric acid. It kills the bacteria that enters along with the food and also helps in digestion of proteins. And the stomach muscles, they squeeze and mix the food with digestive juices. The digestive juices breaks up proteins into the simpler substances. So all these three liquids help in the process of digestion. Got it? And thus the food gets partially digested in the stomach. Then it goes to the small intestine where most of the digestion takes place. Alright, children. So come to the next, digestion in the small intestine. As the food leave our stomach, little by little it enters a long winding tube below it, which is called small intestine. Alright? The last step of digestion takes place here. The muscles of the small intestine mix food with more digestive juices. Okay, and the some digestive juices are secreted by the cells of the small intestine itself, and the other digestive juices comes from the liver, which is the largest gland in the body, and the pancreas, that is located just below the stomach. Alright, children? The liver secretes the digestive juice, which is known as bile juice, and it is stored in gallbladder. So, children must remember that the bile juice produced from liver and stored in gallbladder. Got it? Now, the next one is that after the digestion of the food in small intestine, it get absorbed. Okay, so the absorption also takes place in small intestine. The digested food is then absorbed by the small intestine, and the absorption of the food occurs through thousands of small finger-like projections in the inner wall of the small intestine. Got it? And these projections are known as villi. What it is known as, children? It is known as villi. And these villi increase the surface area absorption of digested food. So that is why our small intestine have the villi by which the absorption of food easily takes place. Each villus has a network of fine blood capillaries which is close to the surface, and the food absorbed on the surface of the villus passes into the blood in the capillaries. Got it, children? So with the help of the blood capillaries which is present on the villi, the digested food get absorbed here. Get it? So the absorption process takes place in small intestine. After the absorption, assimilation. Okay, the next step is assimilation. So the food which is absorbed in the blood is transported to different parts of the body, and it is used to provide energy and materials for growth and repair of body tissues. This is the final stage in the process of digestion and is known as assimilation. Okay, the glucose is broken down in the cells with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water and provide energy. Got it? The amino acid are used for building and repairing of body parts, whereas the fatty acids and glycerols are stored under the skin and acts as energy reserves. So these all parts of the absorbed food play an important role in our body. Okay. Now after the assimilation, the fifth step of the nutrition is digestion. So in our body, all the food which we eat is not digested and absorbed. So the food that cannot be digested move from the small intestine into a wide tube which is called large intestine. Alright, children? In large intestine, most of the water which is present in the waste is absorbed, and the waste food, which is now almost solid, is stored in the last part of the large intestine, which is called rectum. Okay, and then it is passed out of the body through the anus. So in digestion process, removal of the undigested solid food takes place. Okay, from the anus. Understood, children? So this one is the complete process of nutrition in humans. Okay, so I hope that you understood these all processes. Now, after that, I'm going to discuss you about the process of digestion of food in ruminants. In ruminants. Children, the ruminants are hoof plant eating animals that digest their food in two steps. Okay, and the example of ruminants are cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, and bison. So these all animals are known as ruminants. They have complicated stomachs that consisting of four chambers. As we human beings have one chamber stomach, but the ruminants have the four chamber stomach. Alright, the food that's swallowed goes into the first chamber, which is called the rumen, and here it is partially digested and it is called cud. So the partially digested food in the ruminants is called cud. Okay, now after that the food then goes to the second chamber, where it is returned to the mouth for digestion, and through chewing this process is called rumination. So the process is rumination, and that is why these animals are known as ruminants. Got it, children? Why these animals are known as ruminants? Because they have the rumination process in which food returned back to the mouth for thorough chewing. Okay? After the chewing, the food is swallowed for a second time and then digested further in the remaining chambers of the stomach. And then it is finally sent to the small intestine, where the absorption of nutrients takes place. And rest of the process is the same as human. Alright? So I hope that you understood the process of nutrition in ruminants. Is it, children? So this is all about the revision of the chapter Nutrition in Animals. I hope that you understood. If you have any doubt, children, so you can send your query, your question in school group. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day.